Hey guys, it is day number 57 of 90. And the last couple of days, I've been taking some time off and spending some time with the family. But been working with a ton of Rethink Dieting clients over the last several months, and just need a little R&R. And my two youngest, who are still at home, my 21 and my 18-year-old, they have not they have not ever seen a bunch of the movies that their their mom and I have really come to love. And we last night we got into to The Firm, which was a suspense movie by John Grisham, and then another one we started searching out old John Grisham movies. It's hard to say that they're old, but they are. They're really old because they were like done in the 90s. And ended up we ended up landing on the Pelican Brief tonight. And I was thinking about what I was going to say on this Facebook Live, and it's what I do is I work with men that struggle with obesity. And it's really, I take myself back to 2017 when I stepped on the scale and weighed 304 pounds. And looking down at that scale, it was like, oh my God, I'm going to be dead in 10 years or less, probably more like 5. I was 55 years old. I'd never met a man that was over 100 pounds overweight or anywhere near 100 pounds overweight that made it to 60 or 65. And I'm sure they're out there. I just had never met them. And I was in the senior life insurance business where I was dealing with people that are over age 65 too. And hundreds, literally into the thousands of individuals I'd met with, and never anybody that had made it to their 60s that was morbidly obese like I was. And it really just affected me. And I committed publicly to losing 129 pounds in 265 days. I missed that mark. I hit it in 260 days. And I don't say that to impress any of you guys. I should have never been 304 pounds to start with, but really to impress upon you that this whole dieting thing, I had tried like a zillion diets in my life, and none of them ever worked because I wouldn't do what was necessary. And they all work. So does the world need another diet? Heck no, there's plenty. Pick one. But I was thinking about while I was watching this movie, and we love suspense and action movies, and it's Denzel Washington and Julia Roberts are trying to make it through the to the end of the movie alive, like they wouldn't make it to the end of the movie alive. But it's a lot of suspense in there. And I think about all the men that I talk to day in and day out that are struggling with obesity. Some of them are 50 pounds overweight. Some of them are 100 pounds overweight. Some of them 200, 300 pounds overweight. And there's this sense of, I can do this later. That there's no sense of urgency to, getting their weight off. And it really just strikes me that is so common. It's not common in all the men that I talk to, but it is common in a lot of them. They believe that they've got plenty of time, no big deal, 150 pounds and, age 50, 55, 60. Oh, that's, I got plenty of time. I got 20, 30 years left, easy. And I hear that all the time. I really do. And that's just not reality. It's really just fiction, truly. We don't know when we're going to die. Nobody knows that. But, I would submit to you that you don't know what lurks around the next corner for you. I mean, go down to the hospital. There's people filling it up that weren't planning to be there the day before. I mean, none of us are promised tomorrow. But I really, even beyond the health, that clearly is affected by obesity. I mean, you look at the statistics on type 2 diabetes. I read recently 95% of type 2 diabetes are obese. So is there a correlation between obesity and type 2 diabetes? Of course there is. I mean, heart disease, the complications of type 2 diabetes if you don't take care of it, the retinopathy, the nephropathy, those are conditions that are very, 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 very serious. The sleep apnea, the side effect of sleep apnea, which I had. That was one of the things I did have. The side effect of sleep apnea is you stop breathing. that's not good. And so, it was interesting I was like 80 pounds down, 70, 80 pounds down. I saw my local doctor for something totally unrelated. He's like, dang, you've lost weight. I'm not renewing your cholesterol medicine, which is the only medicine I was on. And you can get rid of that sleep apnea machine, dude. You're done with it. And it's really interesting. He checked me. Obviously, he was, careful, but he said, you don't need any of that stuff now. He said, your weight's coming down. So, we make this suspense about, and we put the focus on our physical health, which is obviously super, super important. I mean, if you don't have your physical health, you can't do anything else. You're dead. But I think it's really short-sighted, that we miss this other part too. We miss the lives that we could live. How many men that I talked to that were just like me when I was obese? What really triggered me to take massive action was somebody asked me, "What's holding you back?" And it was an unrelated conversation. It was about business. It was totally out of context that I said my weight. And what I was really thinking about at that point was not all the physical things I would lose if I didn't get my weight down, and if I was to have an early death because of my obesity, but it was really about all those other things. All the times I walked into a room and wondered what people were thinking of me, because I was 100 pounds overweight. It was the times walking into a clothing store and just, seeing myriads of clothing, and just racks and racks and racks of clothing. And none of it would fit me, except maybe this little tiny rack in the back that had the 46 size pants on it, or I think I was wearing a 54, I believe it was a 54 suit. I still have that suit. I saved one pair of pants and one suit, from that era, because I never wanted to forget it. And it was really, a lot of shame. And, thinking about the times getting on an airplane and the 2 seat belts, not one, but 2 seat belts they have to put around you. And to think about just the life that I was giving up, not just those ego things, what I would call them, that were just simply things that were related to my ego, but the life that I was giving up of really living beyond just, the existence that I was in, because of this prison that I'd put myself in called obesity. It was a self-made prison. And I think about all the times I had beat against those prison bars. And obviously I wasn't in real prison, but I was in a type of prison. I mean, I was in a prison of my own making, and really all the success that I was foregoing because I was obese, because every time I stepped into a situation, it was like something was holding me back, and it was my weight. It was that thought, I wonder what they're thinking of me. I wonder, all these things. I wonder what my wife and kids are thinking of me. When my daughter, when she was like 12, she started writing me notes about getting healthy. When my wife Angie had cooked 1,000 healthy meals trying to get me thinner. And it was just all those things. And I just couldn't seem to get a handle on it until one day something clicked. And when that clicked, it was like the scale just started dropping. Did I have to change the way I was eating? Of course I did. I mean, that's, people who think you don't have to change the way you eat and lose weight. I mean, I don't know where they get that. That you have to make changes. You have to do what's necessary. Do you have to move? Of course you do. But is another diet what's stopping you from losing your weight? I mean, do you really believe there's this magical diet out there where you're going to be able to eat all of the, food that you want and still lose weight? Do you really believe that exists? I mean, you don't really believe that. It's just a way to procrastinate. It's just simply a way to progress. That's what I was doing. So, when I talk to men, I tell them, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a physical fitness expert. I'm just a guy that was morbidly obese, that figured out a way through this wilderness called obesity. And I've got a real passion to help men, live that life that we're called to live. I know, I've talked about this some today, but I got a neat picture from one of the guys that just he's stepping into who he's supposed to be. he's still on his weight loss journey. He's lost quite a bit of weight, but it's Mark Delaney, and Mark, has been on, has joined me here on these Facebook Lives once before. And I love it. He said, I'm going to go into the gym with a kilt on when I get all this weight down. And I said, why are you going to wait till you get all the weight down? That weight's coming off. Just go ahead and be in what the reference was is to Mel Gibson's movie, Braveheart, where, the kilt. And so he got a kilt today. I love it. And so I hope I'm not giving away his excitement. He sent a picture of it, and people said, why would somebody do something that crazy? Well, why not? Why not attack your biggest fear? Why not attack that and be vulnerable and really step into who you're called to be? I mean, that's what I admire about these guys who go through my program, because it is not for the faint of heart. And I tell people, listen, this is a journey that's for somebody that really wants to live out their purpose, that really wants to be that individual that their family has dreamed they could be, that person who really knows that there's something more out there other than their next slice of pie or cake or whatever, that there's more to this life than that. And that, we've been domesticated, as my friend Jeff Andresian talked about this past Saturday in Facebook Live I did with him. We've been domesticated. It's time to be to get free. And so if you feel like you're locked in a prison of obesity, reach out to me. Go to transformmyfuture.com/apply and book a breakthrough session if you feel stuck. I mean, if it's something that I can help with, I'll surely let you know. If there's another direction that you should go in, I'll let you know that too. I'm not for everybody. I tell people every day, I am not everybody's solution, but I do know the way through this wilderness called obesity. And if you're really sick and tired of being sick and tired and ready to step into who you were called to be, reach out to me and we'll have an honest conversation. So that's transformmyfuture.com/apply. Or you can check out my free masterclass at rethinkdieting.com. Because, this whole thing of weight loss, man, if you're ready to get after it, it's not going to be comfortable, but I promise you, comfort is way overrated. So take a chance. Reach out to transformmyfuture.com/apply. And we'll see you tomorrow for day number 58. So have a suspenseful evening. See ya.